Hello friends, this is Deep Narayan Singh. I am ready with one of the lectures now, and that lecture contains error correction questions. So in these type of questions, a code is given. You have to identify the syntax error present in that code. So without any delay, let us move to the question. First question says that observe the following Python code very carefully and rewrite it after removing all the syntactical errors with each correction underlined. So such type of code is given to you, and that category of question is going to come in section B of your SEM question, and in under section B this is the first question, and the weightage of this question is 2 marks. So here are total 4 errors present in this type of questions, and each error weight is 1.2. so if you identify like 1 or 2 errors, then 2 errors you will get how much? 1 marks. If you are identified 3 errors, then you will get 1.5 marks, or if you have identified all 4 errors, then you are going to get total 2 marks. So how do we approach to such type of questions? You have to scan the code line by line. So if I see first line, we will find out that this def is in small case, because while declaring a function, def is a keyword that comes in the function header, and that must be in lowercase. Next, in next line, if we just see these two lines, we can come to know that this x we are performing here arithmetic operation, and arithmetic operation are defined on numbers, not on strings. We know that return type of the input function is what? String. So we cannot perform mod operation or modulus operator we cannot apply on the string. That's why we need to convert this return value of the input function into integer, so that our x will be integer. So another error we can see that is present here. And next we see here in this condition itself, if you see here, a single equal to is there, that is the sign of assignment in Python, but we are comparing here. So another error is here. This line is perfect, else is also okay, but here you see this is the function call. What is that? Function call. So in this function call, the function name should be as declared in the function header, but the name is different. So these are the 4 errors. Let us see where we find out. First error is in def, next error in typecasting, where we are going to typecast the return value of the input function. After that, next error in the comparison of if condition, where assignment is not required but comparison operator is required. And next is in name of the function at the place of function call. After removing all those errors, let us see how the code will look like. This is the code, how it is going to look like. You need to write the code like this and underline wherever you have made the correction, like that. If you write your answer such a way, then definitely you are getting full marks in that. Next question we see, rewrite the following Python program after removing all the syntactical errors, if any, underline each correction. So in the same way, we are going to scan it line by line. So if you see the first line itself, in function declaration, each function should have parenthesis in it, but this function declaration or after function name, you do not have the parenthesis. So this is our first error. In the same way as we have seen in the previous question, this particular variable must be of integer type or floating point, because this particular variable is used in arithmetic operations later, that is not defined for string, and the by default return type of the input function is what? String. So we need to typecast it. So another error is present here. Then we have seen in this as in the last question itself, here in the if condition, you see that they are using single equivalence sign, that is not for equivalence but for assignment. But in comparison or in writing the condition, we have to use the relational operator where double equal to is required. Moving ahead, this is fine. Next error we will find in this line, else if is not any keyword in Python, elif is there. So this one is the next error available in our code. Or then we have seen this else and we have here what? We have here semicolon, but colon is required, so you have to change it, and this is another error. As you see there, we have more than 4 errors. So, but question weightage is only for 2 marks. You have to identify any of 4 errors. That's okay. You need not to identify more than 4. If you have identified correctly 4 errors, you are going to get full 2 marks. Let us see how the code will look like after correction. So, this is the correct first correction. This is the second correction. This is the third correction, fourth one, and fifth one. So, this is your answer. If you write your answer in such a way, definitely you are going to get full marks in that. Let us move ahead to the next question. Rewrite the following code in Python after removing all syntax errors. So we need to remember that we have to uh, check for the syntax error. Now you see in this question, uh, assignment operator, okay, so L value is there and R value is there. So we know already L value must be a variable, okay, but R value may be a constant or a variable, but they have given here constant at L value. So this is the first error which is present in our code. Okay, next error is there. For is a block statement. So all block statement must terminate by the semicolon. Next we have here if is a keyword that should be in small case. So there is another error present. And next is else is also a keyword that must be in small case. So we have E capital here. After scanning all the lines, let us see how our code will look like. So this is the code after removing all the errors. So you have to remove the errors or rewrite it correctly. After that, you have to underline where you have done the correction. You can also use the same pen to highlight or overwrite the same code after correction, so that easily understood where you have made the correction. Remember, how obvious you make your answers to evaluate, that much good marks you are going to get. Next question is like rewrite the following code after removing the errors, underline each correction. Same way. So let us scan the first line and you see here we are having a parenthesis in the list. So list should be enclosed in the square brackets. So that is my first error identification. Next, in print statement the brackets are not available, so that is the second error. In third, we have already seen that in comparison always we need to use double equal to, that is a comparison operator. And with that also, if is a block statement and we have to write colon after that, each block statement or block statement header must be terminated by colon. Next is, you see each string may be enclosed in single quotes or double quotes, but quotes should be same both the sides. So if double quotes are used this side, then double quotes must be used this side also. So this is our fourth error. If once you have identified all 4 error, rewrite the code after removing the syntax error and underline your code where you have made the correction. So this is the final answer for this type of question. Next is rewrite the following code in Python after removing all syntax errors. So remember, we have to see for syntax error only. Underline each correction done in the code. So here you see they have written integer rather than int. We know the function is what? Int only, but integer is not the function inside Python. So and while I say Python, it means 3.7 onwards, okay, or 3.x we are talking about. We are not talking about 2.x. These are the version of Python. In there is a slight difference in the syntax of 3.x and 2.x. So we are dealing with the 3.x versions. Next we see if y equal to 10, so again colon is required. So first error and second error. Third error we see here in this particular part, that for y in range 1 to 11. So what is the problem here? Indentation issue. This statement should be indented ahead because it is under this block statement. Next we see here, in under that print statement we have to have here what, uh, quotes around the string, because this is a formatted string and formatted string must be enclosed inside the single quotes or double quotes. Let us see how the code will look like after removing all the errors. So this is the first error and this is the second error, then we have third error, and this one is the fourth error. So you have to write your answer like that, remove the errors and then put underline wherever you have made the correction. Moving ahead to the next question, same way, rewrite the following code in Python after removing all the syntax errors, underline each correction. So let us see, I hope this is the same question. Okay, so we will we moving ahead with that. Next, rewrite the following code after removing all the syntax error. This is another example. First line is okay. Next line we have some issue here, that is block statement must be terminated by the semicolon, and then if should be in small case because the keyword is if, not I capital F. Then we have print C star 4. Then again this is not a keyword in Python. Here we need to have what, elif. Okay, so this is another kind of error present here. And then we have the error of colon after the block statement. So after finding out all the errors we have to write our code uh, after removing those syntax errors and highlight or underline wherever we have made the correction. So this is the answer for this question. Eighth question we see, rewrite the following code after removing syntax errors and underline the correction you made. So there you have x equal to int, enter value for x. There is a problem because input function is not present here. We have to take input from the user, then input function must be there. Next error is present here, range function will have parenthesis in it, not the square brackets. After that block statement, if is a block statement, it must be terminated by colons, and comparison double equal to must be used, not single equal to. And then in this print statement p is capital and parenthesis is missing. So after removing all the errors your code will look like this. Do the same procedure, underline the correction which you have made and that will be your answer. Rewrite the following code in Python after removing all syntax error, underline each correction done in the code. So first line, as we see, we come to know that this is the problem, D should be small case. Indentation issue is there because this function is a block statement, all statement under that must be indented by one tab position ahead at least. So okay, so that is not there. Next is indentation error, and here you need to find a see that range function is missing. Then we have comparison operator rather than assignment. Okay, so comparison should be there. Next is else if is not a keyword, elif is a keyword. Okay, and last there is a problem of again the indentation problem, that should be indented ahead, print s, m and n. Okay, so there is a problem of indentation. Let us see how our code will look like after removing all the syntax errors. Okay, so there is a indentation problem, def local variable, so you have to underline what corrections you have made and declaration of the local variable. Okay, and then we have this elif correction here and indentation issue at these two places. So you have to identify any four syntax errors out of all errors present and you will get 2 marks. So guys, that's it for this lecture. In next part of this category of question we are going to deal with 10 more questions which will give you great confidence while solving such type of questions. So thank you for patient listening and have a good day.